the day. From AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2, but his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
This will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Number 43 on the carry.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
To throw on second down, Kirkpatrick. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Pulls it in at the 13. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now again, right side, Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll try the left side. Johns. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets them to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Kirkpatrick. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest, and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rest as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
7 yards, the pickup there. 3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Back to throw. Watts. And able to find Kirk complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
On 1st down, Watts. Right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First and 10. Watts. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up. First and goal.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think when they...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Touchdown. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The point after is good, and it's now 14-0.
14. Packers nothing. Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Pulls it in at the 13.
Now increase here as he's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
On first down, Johns. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
at the 34-yard line.
Kirkpatrick, and that's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. Face mask. Defense.
The
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Watts. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. From the gun, Watts completes it to Hardman. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake, Kirkpatrick. Throw left side complete. It's Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
1st down, Green Bay.
Operating from the gun, Kirkpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Kirkpatrick. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field.
A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Looking to throw on second down. Watts. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. Touchdown, Cowboys! Mecole Hardman, 50 yards. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Slide for the PAT.
And it is now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown.
Set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender
and he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at the 34. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
Off play action. Watts. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Kirkpatrick. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Kirkpatrick. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here come the Cowboys. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The final shot before break. Watts. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this Divisional Round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And it's the San Francisco 49ers who are moving on to the next round as they were able to eliminate the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right,
Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken about a yard deep, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they have made this look easy. There's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Watts. Smith catches left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Back to throw. Watts being chased out left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
6-yard line.
Now left side on the swing pass. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Throwing on 1st down. Kirkpatrick. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Kirkpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he comes back with one complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Kirkpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's J.K. Scott now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
They begin with a run by Barkley, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now the 2nd down throw on target. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
There's a 1st down throw that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack, because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Complete to Saquon.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 18. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play, and it'll move the chains. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Back to throw again. Wide
Cowboys are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll look to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Johns. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
At his own 9-yard line.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Looking to throw. Kirkpatrick. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
And I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's J.K. Scott now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
Sly on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Hardly any
time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 20.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On first down, Kirkpatrick. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up near the 34. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
Intercepted.
This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun. Watts to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Watts. And he's caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Nicole Hardman with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Thrown away and incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Kirkpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Packers on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Kirkpatrick. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. His way through and past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Open man is Kirk, complete. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
On 1st and 10. Watts, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on second down. Watts throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. From the gun, Watts. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
field goal unit, and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further.
The score, Cowboys 38, Packers nothing.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they knew this would be tough on the road, divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter. Throwing right in, that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Patrick. This is Gabriel out on the left side. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. And the Cowboys will advance to the next round as we say thanks for watching and so long, everybody. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.